friends and family. Welcome back to our channel. Norm is downstairs just taking it easy after helping me a lot to get ready for a fruit-themed kitchen and dining room. I hope there's going to be some new things here that you'll like seeing that's vintage. And I just found this just a couple days ago, the adorable little, probably a tea towel, but it's so cute. It's very nice linen like the tablecloths are, so maybe it's sort of a runner, I don't know, but I'm using it for that and not a tea towel. It's so cute, and it did have a couple little very light stains on it that I was working on yesterday, and I got it pretty good. So I'm happy with finding that. So let's go look in the dining room first, and then we'll come back out here. This was a surprise, finding a really neat video on just fruit tree photos. It's really beautiful. No music in that one. It's supposed to start raining this afternoon here in Minnesota, where it's been drought. Just terrible, terrible drought. We did finally get, close to an inch on Friday. We were very, very grateful. I was even taking videos of it because hail did hit in a lot of Minnesota. Very large hail. We were blessed not to have gotten any. We got a little bit. We got a lot of pea-sized hail that was hitting. But the pond is not running because Norm has cleaned the bottom pond and refilled it. So he is now working on the top pond. So that is empty and it's not running. It's a lot of work, and the pond can get green in August, dog days of August. So I just thought I would let you know that, but I got a lot of blooms out there. We're very happy that our hibiscus there has gotten a lot bigger. We put it in last year, I think. Yeah. So it's doing great. The sunflowers even got so big way far back that Norm just cut them down about a third because they were starting to fall over a little bit. But everything is colorful, and we're enjoying still seeing lots of wildlife. So I thought I'd just let you know that it's not running right now, but we're really looking forward to the rain. So let me tell you first, before we go over and look at some of my crazy fruit over there. Norm came home the other day with this large grape patterned fruit bowl, milk glass fruit bowl. He stopped at a garage sale in the neighborhood and he only paid $1 for it. I'm thrilled with it, and I've kept this old fruit. Thrifted it over many, many years, long time ago. I've always thought it was so fun just because it's old fruit. Have you looked at some of the new fruit? I don't like it. It just doesn't look like this silly stuff made in Hong Kong. I don't know, I just think this is so much cuter. So I do have a bin full of goofy fruit. So let's go see what's over there. As you all know, I'm just keeping that lovely vintage ironstone set that my brother gave me. He was hoping I would take it home 2 years ago when he was still alive. He was really hoping I would like it and find somewhere to display it. So I took the Pyrex I had in this old hutch. I took the Pyrex out and decided it would be beautiful in here. It's called Independence. I wanted to keep the yellow and red and a little touch of green. So I do have reflection going on again here. We like to keep the glass doors in here. It just looks better. For a long time when I was making these videos, I had Norm take the glass doors out. So they were probably not there for, oh, I'm starting to see raindrops. That's good. These fruit glasses I showed last year too in the hutch here because it's bold fruit. And over on the shelving in the kitchen, I actually do have the pitcher, the great big isolate pitcher that goes with it. So that's why I just put a little bit of grapes in there and put the fruit themed milk glass pieces that I have in there. The cream, that's a large creamer and sugar. Cherries on one side and grapes on the other. As you can see, there's the grapes side and that's the cherries side. And I have shown them before, but I also told you recently that I had decided to purchase very reasonable a second set of little tiny creamer and sugars to match. And I do think they're very, very sweet. This set here is large also. It's pears on them. So I thought it would be fun just to put a little vintage cluster of red grapes in there. They're really goofy because they have red leaves. Plastic red leaves. I hope my camera's, or it's Norm's camera actually, is doing okay. It looks like it's been twitching a little bit there. We put on a feature called stabilization. We've noticed if you move a little too fast when you've got a lot of detail, your our cameras. We have Samsung, couple-year-old Samsung phones. They were kind of jerky videos, and both Norm and I were making those videos at Wild Vintage Collective, and neither one of us had that feature on. So I am trying it now. I hope it's much smoother for you. So I just took a couple of lucite clusters up here. These, to me, represent raspberries, of course. And I had found this big art glass. I don't know for sure what you call it. I was thinking it was a pear, but it could be something else. I don't know a whole lot of fruits that would be shaped like that, so I'll just think of it as a pear. And the yellow ones. I have some orange ones that are this size, a little orange cluster, but I wasn't really doing orange right here in the hutch. So I went through that whole thing now without putting my light on, which I hope is good enough. Down here I just put together some grape themed bottles. I thrifted the big white one. Oh, maybe was it last winter or fall at Family Pathways up north. It was a real deal. I think it's really fun. And this too, I can't remember. It's been a while. I've really enjoyed finding several other bigger green glass grape bottles like the milk glass one to go with this little one, but this is my littlest one. And I have explained before that the top is actually a removable little glass. I do see the phone twitching there, the camera, so I'm sorry about that if that's what's happening. And this was a gift from a really sweet gal named Molly, who has a wonderful booth that we showed you in the first one at the Wild Vintage Collective Mall. She wanted to thank us for trying to help a little bit with her getting her booth built up again. So Molly was very sweet and surprised us with this beautiful little Empoli bottle that I think is rare. It does have a grape pattern, or maybe there's more fruit on the sides. I'm not sure right at the moment, but I love it. She saw me eyeing it and knew that that would be a very, very exciting gift for us. So thank you again, Molly. Really, really love it. Up here is a really neat creamer by PY, a Japan company that was making an awful lot of these adorable little salt and peppers and all sorts of things with the cute faces on them. The anthropomorphic. Sorry. That's going to be a joke through this whole thing. Forgive me if I stop saying that.
Anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic.
Anyways, I have a video a long time ago when I first started making videos in thrift hauls where I showed this sweet creamer, and it was a steal. I can't remember for sure, but it might have been like, what, $5 or something? I don't know. I didn't look back on my old video to see, but I know I got a real deal on it. It probably has a chip on the back of the handle, but I did just fill it in with some glue. There you go. Probably isn't going to want to focus real well, but stop twitching, camera. So I haven't bothered painting it yet. If I someday want to sit down with my paints and get all my supplies out, I just put a little glue to fill in the crack. And you can put that glue in a chip like that if it's a substantial chip. Just, do it over a long period of time where you just build it up a little bit each time. Don't overdo it, just a little layer at a time. So I found a pair of these little fruit topiary salt and peppers. So one is there and one is down there. And then this was just a little individual one that I found at the Goodwill a couple years ago. So it is fun to use odd ones. I love odd salt and peppers. You probably do too. So I've had all of these fruit couples, even though those are two girls. I'll still call them couples. Who knows? Like, these two guys both have funny hats on, but so they're probably a couple of guys. I've had them for a long time, but this is my newest set. These adorable lemons. And over here, I've had the tea bag holder for a long, long time, but the adorable little apple, I can't remember where I found it. I think maybe Hutchinson. It is a toothpick holder. Really sweet. So I didn't put any toothpicks in it. And I just found this jam jar. I can't remember where I've gotten all these things because we run around a lot. And I am not excited to keep records. I really, honestly don't care what I paid for something. I'm very, very frugal, and I will get something if it's super cheap. And if it has a chip on it and I feel I can fix it up or just live with it. It's just cheaper that way, and they still display really, really cute. So I just don't keep records. If I've just found something, then I remember better. Like this was $9.75 or $7.95. I can't remember. But we did just find this very, very funny double jam or jelly jar. Like green apple. It's half pinky red and half green apples. They are so funny, and I'm really enjoying sitting across from these at the kitchen table every day for our meals and looking at these funny faces. Wow, look at the cherries growing on this tree. Isn't that vivid? Now that's not so pretty, and I don't even know what they are. Are those plums? Look at the leaves on those. Yeah, I really don't know what they are. So it's not really moving a lot, the video. It just switches to another photo for a while. But you've seen this in my previous fruit video. I found it at Bibles for Missions, which is now called Legacy Thrift in Crystal, Minnesota. It was so cheap, and Norm saw me carrying that, and he, like I said in the other video, I'm pretty sure he just rolled his eyes, and first thing he thinks of is, oh great, how are you going to store that? They're pretty good size, but it goes well with the apples, kind of more of a limey green. So I still enjoy it. I think it's funky and fun from, I don't know, somebody made it. I forget what the mold name is on the bottom. I don't know if it's Atlantic mold or what, but it probably was made a lot by a lot of people. Looks like a lot of work, but it was in really good condition. So I thought I was lucky finding it there. And my brother gave me this years and years ago. Really, really nice condition. I thought that was really sweet. And that's kind of why, I should say definitely why I started getting more of these PY Japan items, because of this. Nothing I had went with these adorable apples. Nothing. So, and it was more pink, and I've always said that I prefer red over pink ceramics. But, after eventually finding the strawberries over there and then just now adding that apple, it's helped to tie everything together. And the last two items are very big, and they would normally be very expensive, but they weren't, because they were in tough shape. There's a chip on the top of each side of the leaves of the vinegar there. You can see a teeny flea bite on the wood stopper. And this one has chips on the top leaf, but that didn't bother me. This was so reasonable for the pear. I could not believe it. I was thrilled. Norm usually he's not real fond of buying things that aren't in real great shape, but I didn't think I'd ever see these again. I might have seen one of these several years ago out in the country, but it didn't have the top in it, and I knew that it needed a top, so I did not get it. It was probably like $9 or something like that, but I didn't get it. For one thing, it was only one of them. It wasn't the pear. But this to me was thrilling and very worthwhile. The lemons is what they are. The base of them is in very good condition. The chips are mostly at the top there. And like I say, that just really doesn't bother me. Yes, I could try to touch up the green, but what I did was just fill in a lot of that over many days with Elmer's glue. Just a thin layer, and you got to kind of lay it down and tip it to whichever direction is best for it to stay in place. You're not going to want to stand it up and let it run down, so it's thicker towards the thinner part of the chip. The thicker part of the chip is going to be up towards the top edge. So you are going to have to figure out ways to prop them, which I do. I work at that. Over here, I just decided to put a new lucite bouquet that we found very recently. Got my hand shadowing it there. So that was very fun to find. It did need some bending of the flowers, and it was pretty clean, but I did have a couple of similar ones. The ones I have don't have a lucite base. They have a, wow, settle down camera. They have a driftwood base. So I think I have two similar to this, but this one actually had a olive green lucite base. Yeah, so that was very fun to find. I can't remember where it was, but like I've mentioned in other videos, we do try to pick up lucite bouquets because if they're really reasonable, it's worth it. I don't want to spend $20, $25 on an item like this. But if it's $10 or under, we think we found a deal. Sometimes we get lucky way out in the country. So that is what's going on over there with the shelving, but I still have something to show you down there. This is a beautiful set that I have admired for years. Typically, though, just the, would you call that a biscuit jar? I've seen just the jar and not really noticed a creamer and sugar that go with it when I've run across it in antique malls. And I saw this in Rogers 101 Antique Mall, and it was last year, but I hadn't used it at all for like a winter video. Hadn't done a fruit one again for so long, and I was saving it for that. I'm thrilled to show it to you now and tell you that I was eyeing it and telling Norm I thought it was just so gorgeous, but I did not ask for it. I was just admiring it. So I just was saying how beautiful it is. Well, my crazy husband came home with it on another day. He sneaks out running errands, and then he'll go up to a mall and go get something like this that I was eyeing so he can surprise me. Can you believe it? Yes, I really, really think it's beautiful, but I didn't have to have it. No, I didn't. Yeah, it's pretty gorgeous. There's no damage anywhere or anything. So that was very sweet of Norm to surprise me again. I found this beautiful strawberry cookie jar at a Goodwill or Bibles for Missions, I can't remember, for only $5, and I've had it for quite a few years, so you've seen it in the other fruit video. But I did just find this beautiful apple. It is stamped Japan on the bottom, so it is porcelain. I don't know what you would use it for sure. It's painted beautifully. Sorry about my camera there, or Norm's camera, I should say. It sure seems to have trouble. I don't know why. It's cooler today. Outside it says 73. So I didn't have anything up here, and I was going to start the video, and Norm said, "Aren't you going to put anything up here?" I said, "I don't have anything." Of course, he laughed at me. "Oh, yeah." So he goes downstairs and just starts looking around. I said, "You're not going to find anything." I actually had brought the grape basket upstairs for a while, thinking I might put some flowers in it, but I changed my mind and I took it back downstairs. I found this for $5 last year at Big Dogs, Antiques and Thrift Store or whatever, I forget, in Lafayette, Minnesota. I couldn't believe it was only $5, not damaged. Just a beautiful dish. That was really a shock. And this was at a thrift store too, I think. I was really surprised at that. That was also a real deal. Beautiful gravy boat. So I had it upstairs for a while here and didn't know if I'd use it or not. Took it back downstairs. So I grabbed them again and then grabbed that does not have fruit on it. And I thought, well, I could put some grapes, little grape clusters with it. So the two other red ones are in the hutch, and I had two orange ones. These are small clusters. I'm grateful to have some small size ones because most of my grape clusters, the vintage ones with the plastic leaves, are big, much bigger, but this is sweet. Nice size. Sometimes it's fun, just to put a cluster right in the gravy boat, but you'd have to have more than one because it's just going to sink down inside. I put up what was my brother's mushroom clock. That is an Arnell's one. It is not Mary Mushroom, I'm pretty sure. So it's still ticking. Still ticking. And I do have lots of old clocks up, which I've shown you before. And I still need to adjust probably that brown one past the green one. I think I need to move that up, but haven't gotten around to it yet. The sky is getting darker. So I had my books all sitting up in a stand facing this way, but for some reason I took the stand away and now I don't know what I did with it. I can't find it. It's so frustrating. Every time I move something and I tuck it away somewhere, I can't find it again. It's really annoying. Do you have that problem? I bet. I don't think I had this cute strawberry ceramic plate the last time I did the fruit video. I did try to review that video and I don't recall seeing it. So I think it's new for you to see. It's so cute. Don't remember where I saw it, but it's very nice and I did not think to pick it up before I put the funny, gummy strawberries on it. Aren't they silly? I just thought they were so cute and it would be fun. I found this adorable little apple planter at least a year ago. So I thought that would be fun. I know I showed it to you before. I thrifted this sweet little compote. It's a very small one. It matches a bigger one that I have, so I have tiered them in a previous video. That worked out fun too. This kind of strawberry candy has always been so cute to me. Very, very sweet to, serve that for company sometime in the summer months. If you got a fruit theme going on. And I've had this adorable little individual salt, I guess. It's a little wheelbarrow, Amberina, but I did not know that when I bought it. I've always assumed it was a toothpick holder. So that's what I use it for. It's really cute and fun. I don't think I've run across another one, to tell you the truth. I have a little set I bought years ago of some really neat handles, 2 spoons and a knife, and they all have different colors and patterns that I had picked out. So that little spoon I thought would be fun for this, another Japan porcelain, I assume, jam jar. So cute. I just found that recently. I think it was $4.95, something like that. And I think that was in Buffalo at a very nice Lake View Antiques, I believe. Yeah, they're really a neat, good size mall that we enjoy shopping at. Very fun. And I found another piece there too when we were there just a couple weeks ago. I've had this for many years. Found it in Rogers, Minnesota. It's just huge, and it is strawberries that's on it. Very pretty, and it was only like, I don't know if it was like $7. I thought it was a steal way back then. My mom used to have spoons sitting out on her kitchen table. I always remembered that and thought it was very fun that she did that. She had one of these old glass spoon holders that was a Scotty dog. It was clear. Do you remember any of those? Have you ever seen them? So it's an open dish, Scotty dog. Yeah, so that's what my mom used to use. Now this, I just wanted you to see the back of it first. I just lit it, so it's not going to have melted this yet, but I can still smell it. It'll warm up in no time. It is, the wax melts, and it's a very rich, sweet, fruity flavor that is in there. I found this at the thrift store, and this upper part can get pretty warm, but I thought it was so cute. I thought it was maybe the Goodwill, but I just don't remember. It could have even been Family Pathways, but it was a steal. In the evening, you would see the candle glowing through it, but it does smell very nice. I enjoy that. Over here, I just found this tray, really cheap again. I was surprised. It was, I think, at an antique mall. Very cute. It is made in Hong Kong. So I thought it would be fun just to put some of my other thrifted items in there. I did thrift this too at the Goodwill, and I believe it was in my first fruit video. I don't know for sure, because I still look for these at the Goodwill. Every once in a while you find something in this, is it McCoy? So over the years I have found a lot of different glass bake de-handled mugs. So I have several cherry ones and several apple ones. It's really difficult to find a lemon or an orange or a pear. So I do have one lemon, I have one pear, and one orange. And they're over on the shelving behind me. But this is my most recent find. I was so surprised. That was really a fun surprise. And I've never seen them before either, the strawberry one. Whoa, camera, what are you doing? I've got 2 of those lucite flower napkin holders. one has a little more lighter pot on the bottom. That's supposed to be the pot, like a clay pot, but they did get kind of dark with it. And I think my phone is showing it darker than it is. You can see it's kind of a rustier clay pot color. But I've always liked them, so I kept them for using more at Christmas time or the winter months, because I haven't had that many red lucite napkin holders. So that's why I hung on to 2 of them and did not sell them. When I was selling 2/3 of our collection of lucite napkin holders, and if you haven't seen the video I did finally get done showing every one of them that I ever collected and sold, I still had photos of them, so I thought it would be fun to show you all of them in a video with just music. So I do have that available. I did just, maybe, I don't know, quite a few months ago now. Maybe in the spring I did that. So I'll link that above for you too, in case you haven't seen that. If you're new to our channel, thank you so much for being here. We sure appreciate it, and hope you say hello, and we hope you subscribe. And thank you to all of our loyal friends from the very, very beginning of our channel. We can't tell you how much we appreciate your loyalty. So this was a coffee pot that was at my brother's house. I've told you about that. Thrilled to have it. And I thrifted this little Sears, yeah, soda fountain. That's all it says on the side. And it didn't have a tin, but Norm found one at an antique mall. I don't know how much it was, but it's smaller, much smaller than what's on the internet. The ones on the internet were too big and they wouldn't fit. So I'm thrilled. He actually found one in a stack of them, and that was the only short one, and we took a chance, and sure enough, it fit. It's got to be able to go up under there and then be short enough to rest on the little peg sticking out at the bottom there. So it fit. That was great find. And this was my parents' toaster. My brother had it in the basement for a long time. I have shared it with you in other kitchen videos. That was from the Goodwill. I think I had 3 others. I had the whole set. A second one this size, and then 2 smaller ones. But I didn't hang on to them because they took up too much room. It's just too much. You can't put them inside of each other to store them like you can the tin ones. So I decided to give them to Bibles for Missions a year ago. So that's all I have that left, is 1 nice canister is enough for me. And behind me on the stove, I have a casserole one and a teapot. So that's good enough representation of what they made, along with, like, your little pieces like that jam jar too. And this is a new find that I have not shared with you. On the bottom, it is stamped Germany. Found it in an antique mall. It was pretty reasonable. I do not know what they used it for. Do you? I just stuck a little bit of a leaf plant in there. I did have some of these pieces of glass fruit last year, and just found the orange and the pear are fairly new. The lemon is fairly new, possibly this year. I just found this adorable little, I'll say, peach. really small, and this banana was like $5 just the other day. I was happy to find that in Hopkins at the Pink Elephant. Very fun place to shop for us. We don't get there too often, and this pepper is new, and peppers are considered a fruit, so that's why I decided to get it. And it was the only red piece of fruit that I would have had. I have seen apples here and there, but I have not liked them. They don't look like this, where you can see through them that easily. A lot of times when you see apples, they're more of a paperweight. Like at Wild Vintage Collective, we saw some, and they have the little bubbles in them. I forget what you call that when it's got all these little controlled bubbles in them, but they're very, very, very heavy, and I wanted hollow fruit that was lighter weight. So I looked it up, and sure enough, a pepper is a fruit. Green pepper, I suppose, red pepper, it turns red. This I shared last time. Probably did put it in the window because it's just so much more fun to see this great big lucite trivet. I'm glad I hung on to it. I did sell an orange slice and great big lemon slice, but I still have a small lemon slice trivet to my right on the stove. I'll show you what they look like. You may have seen them, but I sure don't run across these lucite trivets very much at all. They maybe got melted, or who knows. I just don't know why you don't see them. I was thrilled to find this sweet faux prayer plant at Hobby Lobby for 40% off just last week. I wanted to put something different in here for a change. I've had in other videos, I've shown you like a Christmas cactus. I've got an orange blossomed one and a red blossomed Christmas cactus that I've used here at different times of year, but this is so fun. So I was really happy to find that. It is in its own pot, a little plastic pot. And I'm sorry again about my camera having a hard time here. And I've shared the very fun fruit plant hanger, vintage plant hanger. I have shared that before. So I know you've seen that, but I'll share it again. And I thrifted this 2 pieces of adorable vintage looking material. I don't think it might be, but it sure looks like it. I found it at an antique mall, Midtown Antiques in Stillwater, Minnesota, quite a few years ago. So I do love that when I do a fruit theme, or even summer, anytime in summer. There is apples on it. So let's look at the pot holders. These are the ones I chose for over here. And in my last kitchen video, you saw that I was enjoying putting enamel or tin vintage items up here, and took down my mail glass that I had up for quite a few years. I got tired of the mail glass and thought this would be very, very fun. I love it. I've got, the milk glass candy dishes and apothecaries up there, way up there, which Norm will help me dust up there soon. He's been a very busy guy, but he will do it before the holidays. We'll get that done. All those crafts were from my brother, if you're new to my channel and you haven't seen them. So back to the pot holders. It's very fun for the fruit theme to use ones with red, green, and yellow. And there's a little white there too, of course, but I don't have that many that are red, green, and yellow. Very few, really. But I was fortunate to find a couple of the strawberry ones, and they're probably new. But they're cute. And there's another red, green, and yellow one that's really different. Very fun. Over here, I've found all of this fruit over a couple years of looking for some fun vintage chalkware fruit. So I took down the spice rack in order to put up this very large pear piece. It is really big. I mean, these others, you can tell, are pretty good size on the sides here, but that one was huge. I just found this one at an antique mall, and I can't remember where, and I thrifted the little ladybug. It is chalkware. I don't remember if it said Korea on the bottom or what. Can't remember. There was a little sticker. And this one is a beautiful piece where the leaf does come off. The flower in the leaf comes off. So I think it's a fancy marmalade jar. And that was also from the Lakeview Antiques in Buffalo, Minnesota. When I found that other apple jam jar, I think it's just beautiful. It was $10, but I've never seen it before, and it's Japan, I believe. This was, I think, was it only 10? I can't remember, but it was way out in Cold Spring, Minnesota, at the Morin Mansion a year ago. More than a year ago. It was a year ago last Christmas, so it's a year and a half. But I thought it would be fun for you to see it with some of these adorable strawberries that I also found at an antique mall. Yeah, I don't see stuff like that at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I've not seen any sugared fruit, but it could be more of a Christmas item. You know how they sugar fruit for Christmas, but I thought, oh, I gotta get that little bag of strawberries. And I thrifted that. Probably a jam jar, and I've had that tray for many, many, many years. And this is a newer set for me, and I don't remember where I got it. Could have been Hutchinson. Very, very nice condition. 70s probably. Norm actually bought this crazy cake box, banana cake. He actually bought that for me at an antique mall. It's pretty cute, isn't it? It's in beautiful condition. Yeah, I have no idea when that was made. It could be pretty new. So there's my mom's old mixer, a tray that has fruit on it, cherries, apples, grapes. I think there's even more fruit over on the other side too. It says Bon Appetit on it. We found that at Up Your Alley Vintage in New Richmond, Wisconsin, but they are closed now, sadly. And this was a gift from my cousins. This great, big, huge pitcher, grape-themed pitcher that makes a great utensil holder. I found these two salt and peppers maybe different times. I'm not sure if I got them at the same time, but I just love them because they had big holes in the top. and they really are big, so they hold a lot, but I just love the fact that they're checked, and they can hold the coarse ground pepper and I forget the name of the salt I buy, but it is coarser ground salt. And I just found this, love it. I already forgot where. We go to many places, but it looks to me like that gay fad design. I have a few pieces over on the shelving. Yeah, but that's what it looks like to me. Somebody's trying to blend in back there. Wise guy. So you might want some walnuts in your banana cake. I know I would. That might sound funny, but if I was making cupcakes, I think I would like that. Or you could even grind them up finely and put them on top of some good frosting, like cream cheese frosting. So I just put out a couple of vintage Better Homes and Gardens, the fruit one, and I did share that. I had that one in the last fruit video I did. This is also a sweet one. That there is a Jello mold on that. So on the stove is the trivet I was talking to you about. It's a small lemon slice. I think they also made a lime slice too. I don't recall if I had that or not. And that was from the Goodwill. There was a bunch of stuff there. I think I found the teapot though, months later. It could have even been a year later, but still it was at the Goodwill. So they were typically like $9.99. They're not shipped anywhere. They must be pretty sturdy. And that was my mom's salt and pepper set that I brought home from my brother's house. And I know I shared that with you the last time. And I don't recall if I've ever shared this with you. This is a very large lucite spoon rest or spoon caddy or wall plaque. And I used to put all of them that I had on the wall. I had quite a few different flowers. This is a very big one. And they made it in a smaller, more normal size version too. I may have put that in my lucite video of the napkin holders because it was kitchen items. This I've had for a long time. Cute little straw and strawberry tea bag holder. So over here, this is for making tea. You can set it on this cute tea kettle, vintage tiled trivet. I'll get all that out sooner or later. 3 of my fun mugs. I wish I had 4. I don't know why I only have 3 of those. They're really neat. The pattern is on both sides, which is not always the case with these mugs. But they're our favorite porcelain mugs. I thrifted this cute little tiny mug at the Goodwill. Last year I did put these faux strawberries in my blender. I thought that makes a cute display. I love the old blender. It was at my brother's house. That was his. And I thrifted this little jar with the strawberries on it. Nice little red lid. So I put some tea bags in there. English breakfast. That's a great thing to put tea bags in. And I do have raspberry, or is that strawberries? Something. It's probably a combination. Bunch of berries, isn't it? It's pouring out. Thank goodness. I'll go show you. But this is my newest one. Just a couple weeks ago. That was from Anoka, Minnesota. So I was very happy to add that to the collection. Oh, it's nice. Look at that line of clouds there. It probably won't last long, but I'm very happy to see that. It's supposed to, like I said, rain all night and into tomorrow. That would be just great. But things just don't work out like they keep promising. We'll see. I'm sure he's enjoying that. He's so funny. I should show you. I gotta move pretty slowly here since I'm way too zoomed in. I lined up my frog collection over there on a bench. I told Norm I was tired of the big wine-colored plant rack that we had right there where the sun is, sun plaque. I had all my California big planters out there for a lot of color, but whenever it rained, they all filled up with water, and it's not good if you don't get out there and empty them out. So I told him, it's just too much work cleaning them. They get really bad, and you really need to clean them when you go to put them away for the season. So I said, can we just keep that rack inside the shed to store the pots on? And I'll just use the pots indoors, rotate them by color as I want to use different colors. Oh, it's blowing the trees more. That's great. I've got some great videos of the rain that hit here on Friday. It was really neat. The wind blowing around like crazy. But I hope you like my froggies over there instead. The bench was underneath the window, and I said, could you just slide the bench over to the frogs? And I have more that he took off the biofalls there, where the waterfalls comes out at the top here. There was a rack over it, and I still had 3 more sitting there, so I can add some more frogs to it. But this guy, he got left out on the island. I call it an island. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the rain. Dear Father, thank you for the rain. It's just wonderful. Can you hear it? Oh my, it's really coming down. Oh, that's just wonderful. Normally all it's been doing is getting the sidewalks wet and then quit. Wow. Isn't that great? Oh, it's so wonderful. We're thrilled. I hope you've been getting enough rain where you are. Okay, enough of the rain. I hope you like my crazy collection of probably, well, I'm pretty sure that one's commercial. It's all puffy. It's really cute and puffy, lightweight, light as a feather. But I don't know if somebody would have made that or not, but it sure is cute. This one almost looks more handmade to me. It's small. And this one could have been handmade. But I like them all. It's fun when you get a collection of crazy hot pads together. Like I bet you might be remembering all my Halloween jack-o'-lantern hot pads, pot holders. I love putting them on the fridge for Halloween. They're just so fun. I get so excited when I find one. So look at this crazy menagerie of fruit. I always have fun putting them together. The checked pots up on top is new for me. I just got that set recently. It's a double boiler situation. It was a good deal, so I broke down. It's fun to use them in the summer months. So there's a real variety here of very, very old Hong Kong tiny plastic fruit magnets. And I added the adorable ladybugs. Couldn't resist. That is a lucite apple though. It's the only lucite one up here. But I love these big guys, and I think they were my brothers. And the big one in the middle too, I think. Yeah, he had them hanging over his stove for a long time. So I did get a set of 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 chalkware fruit items from way out in the cornfields in Wells, Minnesota at Midwest Antiques LLC. I believe that's the name. Haven't been there for a long time. So it was that orange, that apple, those peaches maybe, I'm not sure, and another big orange. So there's quite a bit of chalkware mixed in there with all of the little plastic ones and some very crazy pot holders. So there's that nice trivet that my friend Trent sent to me. What a nice gift, isn't that sweet? That was so fun to open. Yeah, what a surprise. So nice. Really love it. And some of my cherries and apples. There's my one and only orange glass bake de-handled mug, and one and only lemon one, I think, yeah, and an apple that I have more of. And the other side, I've got an apple, a cherry, a pear, and apples over there. So this is what I decided on for an arrangement on the shelving. It's pretty wild in the middle, isn't it? That big picture, I'll have to tell you about the big wild picture in the middle. They do have a fruit themed, I don't know if that's, I don't know that I'd call that a picnic basket, but it has handles like a picnic basket. That is a newer repro type large tin item or aluminum, I don't know, probably tin. And so is the bread box. The bread box was on sale half price at Michael's a couple years ago, and that was in Anoka at the big White House at least a year ago or more. I keep all my spice tins in there and the sprinkle things that I've put out on display on the little spice rack over the stove. So that's a very fun place to keep that in the bottom fruit one down there. It's full of things. And my bread one is full of bags of brown sugar or powdered sugar, light and dark brown sugar and powdered sugar, and maybe some candy things, whatever. That kind of thing is in the bread box. And there's a funny old lunchbox that I found this past, maybe it was spring. That was in Rogers 101. It's pretty beat up, but well loved. And there is a pattern on the back too. I should show you what that is. I like this side better, but I'll show you the other side. Well, that's fun too. I kind of forgot what it was. I knew it had red on it, but I guess the color green was kind of odd. It's not real green, but it's cute. You can see how beat up it is. Maybe that's the bottom side. One side's always going to be a little more beat up than the other, huh? So I happen to have 2 of those Apple mixing bowls, or not sure what you would consider them, but I've had them for many, many years. Didn't pay much for them. Nope. It's been so many years. And I used the lighter, the yellow with a little green on it, a couple of bowls on each side of that. I did show you that I had this nice loaf dish. I don't see this pattern hardly ever. It's probably glass bake, maybe. Sorry, I didn't check that out, but here's my latest purchase. There's probably one missing. It was really a steal for this set. Maybe it was like 14. It was at the White House. I forget, but they were maybe like $5 each. But it was on sale because the woman was having her 60th birthday in that booth, that owned that booth. So I didn't even know it until I was checking out. She said, "Oh, it's on sale, 20% off." What? Wow, lucky me. And I've had this for a very long time. It's Hildi, Hildi, trademark. Such a cute pattern, huh? Yeah, there was a lot of things made, like glasses and glass canisters with that pattern. Very sweet. So I have the apple bowl and the strawberry bowl, and I use them at Christmas time. They're very nice to use at Christmas time. I've had these glasses for many years, and we also had small ones. One of them got broke, one of these big ones, up in the cupboard, just Norm accidentally. It's not that it's his fault. He was helping me by putting stuff way up high there, but it got bumped by other glasses and it somehow broke a chunk out of it. So, but it's very bumpy texture. Are you familiar with these? Probably 70s. They started doing this with some of the glasses. They had this really crazy textured paint on it. I mean, it's whatever they added to the paint to make it textured, like some kind of resin, huh? Don't know. But I was with my sister this past spring and in the Goodwill by our house, and I spotted this way up high and I thought it was adorable. I'm not big on the purple grapes in back, but that's what happens. There's a little purple in these glasses too. I thrifted these too. They're huge, and I did show them in the last video. But after I got this home, I don't remember how much it was. It was pretty cheap, probably. It might have been $9.99. I don't know what the Goodwill would have charged for that, but I think I had my discount that day. And I got it home, and I was so surprised to read 1995, Dayton Hudson and Marshall Field. Isn't that cool? Since my father retired, worked his whole career at Dayton Hudson Company. It was a good company to him. Yep. So that kind of made my day. I thought, oh, that's so sweet. It's adorable. So I was anxiously awaiting to show that to you. And that's just one of my flowery pictures because I don't have enough of this size in fruit. But I did have 2 of these red, I think they're Hazel Atlas, aren't they, jam jars? I had 2 of those in the last video, fruit video. And I may have had 1 of these Avon little cruets, but I found another one at the thrift store. Bibles for Missions, I think I found both of them. But over quite a period of time, probably a year. But I just found 2 of the apples and I couldn't pass them up. They were both at the same antique mall, Antiques America in Hinckley, Minnesota. Yep, the same vendor had 2 of them, so I couldn't pass them up because I had 2 strawberries and I had 2 cruets, so I just had to get them. They didn't have them marked cheap, but they weren't expensive either. So I think those are Hazel Atlas. Some of you maybe have even purchased, is there something else? There's another fruit. Maybe there's, I don't know if there's pineapple or an orange. I'll look that up too. I just don't recall, but I know somebody I saw years ago was showing on Instagram that they were very hard to find, the other ones. So this is the picture that matches the glasses in the hutch. Very, very bold fruit. I love this one. It's very tall. So that is what the pear one looks like. Another apple, another cherry, another apple, which I have way more of. And these are the ones I picked out for up here. Some flowered. I just love this one. It is so old-fashioned. So cute. It is red and yellow and green, which is what I love to try to keep this mostly of. I don't mind some orange because, well, obviously I have little juice pitchers up there with oranges on them. So yeah, I did use orange, definitely, in this color scheme. So I love the cherry one. I have 2 strawberry ones. That one is Hazel Atlas with the ribbing. There's a lot of them across the top here with the ribbing on them. They're big pictures. But I'm not certain if that was Anchor Hocking. So that's a different pattern. Strawberries. Big strawberries. These are smaller strawberries up here. Very common. You see this apple one everywhere. It's surprising. They must have made a ton of them. And just because the colors, and try to have something extra up here. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 pictures up here, but 2 more on each side. So that's 10 of the large ones. And I'm sure you probably enjoy seeing just the geometric mostly. I love the dot ones. I've seen the blue dot one, which is bigger, many times, but it's always been very, very expensive. And isn't there even the bigger one is that green dots? But you won't believe I got a real deal on 2 of the tiny brown dot ones it was either in the winter in maybe Red Wing. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I've had all of these for many, many, many years. I don't think I could afford them now, to tell you the truth. So many years, ever since way before I started making videos in 2020. So those are all the fruit ones up there, and that is my newest one. The flowered one from Wild Vintage Collective. Just when we first went there to do their grand opening, I found that. I thought it was a very good price. Maybe it was $21, but I splurged. I hope you can see it all right without me zooming in on it. I found that little one at the Goodwill, the strawberry one. I don't care for the fact that the leaves are more teal, but that's the way they made that one. It is not faded. So I've had all the other juice ones for many, many years. So I did add a flower one there, 3 flower ones up there. So that should about do it for my video. I'm sure this is really, really long. I know some of you say you enjoy the long videos. I know it's not easy to watch an hour or more at one time. I totally get that. I can't do that either. But thank you so much for your very sweet comments. Oh, you are all so good to us and so kind. We love hearing what you're collecting. I love to hear stories about you, where you live. It's wonderful that you're willing to share like that. That's just great. There is one more thing I'll show you on the end over here by the phone that I forgot. Hold on. I just wanted to make sure I got this included. It's the cutest little iron wall pocket, and you do see these around in a lot of different color schemes. Like I've seen a lot of them with black splatter, and this one is with a green splatter. But they are cute, and I couldn't resist it when I found it somewhere not too long ago with the cherries on it, since I love the fruit theme. So I just had to get that in there too before I say goodbye. So I will leave you with my crazy wild tablecloth. I hope you enjoyed seeing that. I don't think I've ever seen that print before. I was pretty thrilled to find it. I guess the fruit-themed tablecloths are actually my most favorite versus floral ones. They're all beautiful, but that was a very, very exciting find. I hope your summer, the rest of your summer, is very blessed, and we can't thank you enough for your very kind support. We send our love and prayers for your good health and happiness. Thank you, thank you. Take care.